Dear Video Games, it's us again, and I'm Mav.
And I'm Snacks, and we're on a quest to bring you lots of fun.
We're live right now on Twitch, which is usually Thursday nights around 6:30 p.m. Pacific and 8:30 p.m. Central.
Nice. Our episodes go live every Friday morning at 5 a.m. Pacific, and it's like a welcome to the weekend. So if you're tuning in now, we hope you have the most wonderful of weekends. And welcome to the podcast. Today's a real special one because we have our very first live special guest. So we are so pleased to introduce you to Sarah.
Woo!
Hello. Welcome.
Woo! And you go by at Very Small Hat. Can you explain your adorable, amazing username and like, is that your gamer tag? Like, where did that come from?
It's really not as exciting of a story as I wish it was. But yeah, it started actually as just Small Hat, and I made it. It was probably back in like 2018 when I actually started gaming, because I didn't actually play video games till like my adult life. Yeah, which we can get into more later.
Yeah.
But I didn't really start gaming till much later. And my boyfriend at the time, his name that he had chosen was Large Hat. So I just became Small Hat, and that's so I basically just tagged along behind him because he was like introducing everything to me. He introduced me to gaming, and bless him for that. And then I decided spontaneously to start streaming in 2019, and I just kind of kept the same name, but of course Small Hat was taken, so it became Very Small Hat. And fortunately for me, nobody ever has taken that name on any platform, so I have gotten Very Small Hat on literally everything, and I continue to get that name on everything. So it's super unique, and it's quirky, it's different, and then I go by Small or Sarah. So it's not really like, and I'm small, like I'm not very tall. I'm 5'2", so it just kind of stuck that like I am, I am small, so my hat's small,
Oh, that's so cute.
While you're while you're amongst
and then
giants.
Exactly. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when we met, we took the picture together. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was just like, it was like everybody, and then it was like, whoop, and then it was like Megs.
Yeah, around the tall ladies. Well, welcome, Sarah. If you don't know, Sarah is a full-time partnered streamer on Twitch and a Destiny 2 player from Canada. So shout out to our fellow Canadians. And we are so happy to have her with us today on the podcast. And thanks for telling us a little bit about your username. And we can't wait to hear more.
I just want to point out again that they're both Canadian, and not to reiterate it, but like, from what part is it that different? Is it like the States where it's like so different from state to state? Or is it like, explain that to me for this American.
It's pretty different. Yeah.
It definitely varies.
So.
I think you could go by chunks, right? So you could kind of chunk the Maritimes together. Of course, if you live in the Maritimes, you're going to say there's some differences, and there definitely are. But, you could chunk the Maritimes together, I feel like, on their own. And then, we've got Quebec. And then I feel like you could, I don't know, would you put Alberta with BC or with Saskatchewan? Maybe it depends on the person.
It really depends, because like I would say like city people in Alberta are much more like BC, but then the country areas of Alberta, the farmland is so similar to Saskatchewan.
I would
they
totally
share a
agree
lot
with that.
and like the oil industry and stuff like that. So I would Alberta's kind of weird in that way. Like I feel like I would almost divide it up.
That's really accurate, honestly, because I am from Alberta, so that's very accurate. Yeah, definitely feel that. So I feel like you could kind of chunk it in a way.
That's so cool.
So,
That's so cool. That's amazing.
I feel like similar to the States, because you have like the Midwest, right, and then the South. And then, like,
oh my God,
the provinces
so
are
bizarre.
So much bigger. They're so big. Like even within one province, you could probably divide the province. Like I live in northern BC, but like southern BC is quite different. So like Vancouver, I think of as kind of like the LA of California, right? Like California, you could split up into like multiple different categories, but people in LA are so different from like Northern California. So I don't know. It's just like, because the provinces are so big. Yeah, it really depends.
So it's province. Okay, provinces is kind of like states a little bit.
Correct. Yeah, okay. No, exactly. You got it. Exactly.
Okay, I got it. How are you guys doing? It's a very busy week this week in gaming. So Sarah, what have you been up to? What are you playing? What's kind of going on in your little world right now?
My caveat, I have been I have so many games on the go right now. I feel like I don't
Right.
have time. Like being an adult now, like being in your like 30s and like you're just like we just don't have time to game anymore. And it's so unfortunate because there's so many good games right now. So I have started Tears of the Kingdom and I'm loving that. It's been kind of like my before bed in bed on my Switch game that I just kind of dabble in. Like I'm not pressuring myself to play through it too quickly. I'm just like taking my time with it, enjoying it off stream. And then
Wait,
I
what?
did start
With Zelda, are you team laughing at koroks getting flung into the abyss, or are you team? It's an outrage.
Yeah, tell us, Sarah.
Actually, now I feel like there's the divide here. I can feel it. There's a lot of tension.
Are you saving or killing? You know, there's really only two sides.
Let's just say, like, I'm not gentle with the with them.
No.
I've definitely dropped a rock or two on them occasionally by accident.
Amazing.
More than one time, but it was an accident. Okay.
It was an accident. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, just the squeaks are just so cute, you know?
Help me. I'm so big.
Can't say I have not flung them into the abyss though.
Okay.
Now you've spurred my curiosity though, and I want to see what happens.
Oh dear.
So I might try it.
Oh my gosh, the outrage that Snacks felt when seeing all the koroks. She was
actually
very
disturbing.
upset.
I am disturbed.
Snacks is like the real life Snow White, so yeah, that does
They
not
actually
surprise me
talked to
at all.
her. She's like, 4 leaves fell on me. And I was like, Snacks.
That actually happened, okay? It never happened before, and then it happened. I don't know why it happened or what it means. It happened.
What else are you playing? What else are you into? Are you getting crushed by mommy Lilith? Are you?
I am.
Are you
Yeah,
team
I am
Diablo?
so addicted to Diablo right now. Diablo's been like my go-to. Like I actually yesterday, like I was like I have to get to bed on time, and I was like I can't play Diablo tonight. If I sit down and play Diablo, I'm gonna play for 4 hours, and it's gonna be past my bedtime. So like that's the kind of discipline I've had to have with that game. Like I am loving it so much. And
I agree.
Oh my gosh,
I've been so sick, and like I have had to go to bed because I want to get better, and I'm like I want to play so much.
Yeah, it's just so addictive, and like I don't play a ton of top-down games. Like I've played some Path of Exile in the past, and I did play Diablo 3 on the Xbox early in my gaming career. And I really, really enjoyed it. So, but I wasn't actually like super excited about this because it's been so many years, and then I was watching my partner play it, and I was like, I think I want to get it. Like, it just looks so good, and like, it's like really story driven this time. Like, I'm loving the campaign. So I'm loving that.
What class are you?
A barb. I chose a barb. Yeah. So, but I'm definitely gonna replay it again on maybe like a. Oh yeah, she's a muscle mommy. Oh my gosh,
literally crush me in between your thighs.
I am living
please.
my muscle mommy dreams. It's so great. It's so great. It's a very fun class. Pretty easy to build craft, but like just if you just kind of want to like run through and just punch things, slash things, melee things.
Oh my gosh.
Fun.
I'm playing a rogue, and I'm just like living my demon hunter dreams. Just
heck yeah.
Just actually amazing. I got to actually interview and play with the GM of Diablo, Rod, and Deepak, who is an engineer at Microsoft. And I was like, he's like, what are you playing? He's like checking out my build. And I was like, don't look at my build. It felt very Destiny, where you can like check each other out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I was like, you don't look at me, because you know how you can make your title, and I'm like magic trash is my title.
Oh yeah, mine's something really ridiculous.
Amazing.
And he was like, oh, I'm just trying to see what you're doing. And I was like, I can't be a demon hunter, so I guess I have to go with the rogue. And so he's like, okay. But yeah, no, it's I knew it was gonna be big, but I didn't realize how fast it would creep up on the world, because like it just sort of showed up, and I was just like, they didn't do anything until it launched. And then
but that's honestly, I loved that.
it's better. Yeah.
I think that like, if we compare it to Destiny, which is the other game that I play a lot of, like they have so much hype around new DLCs and new content.
So much.
And then I feel like I feel like I play it for a week. Like the new season was so fun the first week. I really enjoyed it. The Season of the Deep. And there's just so much hype for everything, but then it's like it dies off, and I'm like over it after a week. I'm like, I don't really want to pick the game up for a while. Like I'm always interested in the DLCs and the new seasons, but yeah, with Diablo, like I just don't want to stop playing it. I want to finish the whole game. I'm already like planning out my second character. Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's just there's so much content, and I want to enjoy all of it.
Yeah.
I like a surprise too. I don't like to know too much. I like to be surprised.
Same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Snacky, what have you been up to?
Well, okay, so I don't. If
You've got
if you
drama.
don't know,
Talk
I've
about game
well,
drama.
you know, okay, so so I've been very busy because I have a puppy and he consumes most of my time. But he's growing quickly and he's amazing, he's so cute. There's a picture in the pet channel in Discord if you haven't seen him. But his name is Scotch and it's short for Butterscotch, and he's so
cute.
great. Outside of that, because I don't have a lot of time, I've been playing Pikmin. I play, what is it called?
Pikmin Bloom.
Thank you. I don't even know my own game. I play
This is
Pikmin
your
Bloom.
fault.
It's like Pokemon Go. It's awesome. My Pikmin hasn't come home yet. If you're familiar, I sent it back up to Canada to retrieve a present for me. So like, we'll just see. He's still alive and he's walking. It said it would take him like 20 something days. So we're just patiently
That's adorable.
They're so cute. They're like these little characters. Yes, because Pikmin, I picked it up again because Pikmin 4 is coming out this summer. And so I used to play Pikmin Bloom when it came out, and I just feel like it's getting me in the zone, you know? And then on top of that, I've been playing Ni no Kuni. I'm babysitting my account and a friend of mine's account, so it's been like a little bit busy. And it's been a little crazy in Ni no Kuni. I won't dive too much into it, but we did actually just declare war in another kingdom. So, you know, it's like a little spicy in there right now if you're playing Ni no Kuni. And you know, it's just like full of endless not so serious drama, but like because I'm in charge of a kingdom, it is now my problem. So there's lots of problems actually. In fact, literally in the chat they were like, hey, there's a group discussion thread for you to review afterwards. Thank you. I'm like, excellent.
Oh my goodness.
Great.
So it's
I love being in
it's
charge.
definitely like guild leading, and like,
yes, it's exactly like
it really brings me back to the old WoW guild leading vibes where I'm like, I'm not dealing with this.
Actually, they're like, somebody looked at me funny, so I killed them. I was like, oh, excellent. Good. Yes. Love that.
Not an overreaction at all.
It's awesome. I like it. I feel like it simultaneously keeps me young and gives me gray hair at the same time. Like I'm constantly like, what's going on? But yeah, those things consume my time, and that's about it really. Honestly.
Oh my gosh. Lots of Diablo, lots of Zelda, lots of stuff going on today. There was the Summer Game Fest announcement, which they announced so many things that I was not expecting actually, because we're saying something like, we don't really have a lot of game announcements, but they had a lot of extended gameplays. Was there anything you saw on socials or anything, Sarah, that you're interested in playing? Have you played the new Spider-Man?
No, I have not. I've not played any of the Spider-Man games.
Oh my gosh.
I have not really been on socials much because I've been so delved into my games, which has been really nice. But I'm also like, I also haven't finished Fallen Order. Yeah, I also haven't finished Fallen Order. And then I've got like other games from last year still on like my list of to play games. So like, it's kind of like a bookshelf. You feel like you're like accumulating books faster than you can read them. And that's how I feel right now, is like I still have Ragnarok. I still have like Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West.
I feel
like,
attacked because I also have Ragnarok. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And, like, there's such good games, and like I just haven't touched them yet because like I feel like I haven't had time. So
I feel that. I feel that.
So I haven't really seen or been looking, I should say, for like upcoming games, just because I'm so satisfied with everything that I've got on my list at the moment that like I don't want to overwhelm myself in some ways. So like I'm not going looking for anything.
Oh yeah. And the fact that there are more games to launch with everything that has already launched this year, I'm like,
it's crazy.
This has been a very big year for gaming, and I don't think anyone was expecting that, because I thought this year there wasn't gonna be much, like just maybe Zelda and like Spider-Man, but
yeah, no, it feels big for sure.
Yeah, really busy. I personally didn't see anything that was super on my radar, although for some reason I kind of still like Fortnite, and every now and then I like sneak on and we'll get obsessed for like a week or two. It's really weird.
Update
and then
cool.
I convince everyone like in Discord to come play, and then I'm like, okay, that was enough of that. Thanks for
thanks for coming.
Satisfy yourself. You're like,
yeah, literally.
Yeah. Well, they had like a new update that looked very like Indiana Jones Jungle Cruiser vibes. And I was like, what? I don't know about that. You had me at Ariana Grande, but then I don't know about it.
Fair.
They do so well at like the game itself hasn't changed that much, but they just like grab everybody in by just using pop culture. They're like, oh yeah,
Smart.
you love this pop culture. Come on in.
You're gonna want
to play Ariana Grande. Like,
yeah. It's honestly so smart.
Oh
yeah,
my
it
gosh.
is. It's
What
a
about for
great
you, Mav?
marketing scheme.
Did you have a highlight? Like, what was a standout for you?
I got to listen to it a little bit just because I was running around at the park today. I've been everywhere today. It's been busy. But yeah, there are a couple of games that I'm very interested in, even though I don't know if I'll ever play them. Like Lies of P is kind of like a action single player game, kind of like Elden Ring, which I also haven't played yet. So they're just like adding to the list of games I don't have time for, what I don't have time for. Yeah. But Nick Cage is in Dead by Daylight, so now we have to play that again next week.
Right.
I've just heard so many like frustrating things about Dead by Daylight's like current like meta, or like they're like, it just feels like very like, well, there's only like one killer that's actually good to play, and I don't personally play it a ton, but it's kind of kept me away from it personally.
Oh,
yeah, I think the thing that I've noticed with hearing about more of the end game is once you rank up high enough, then the pool is so small. Like, I don't know why they do that, but
because it's skill based.
Yeah, it's skill based and rank based and leveling, and like it just makes your group so much smaller for people who like to play it so much. And hopefully they change that. But for us, we go with people who either are really good in picking on.
I like private games.
Yeah, private games are great.
Yeah.
And then but Nick Cage is just the biggest meme in the States. Just like,
I forgot he was in the Spider-Man movie, the Into the Spider-Verse. I haven't seen the new one.
Yeah.
But we just watched the old one, and I forgot that he was in it as a voice actor, and I was so pleasantly surprised. It was so great.
He was the black and white noir Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Why do I remember that? Good. Please don't. Oh
Such
my
a
God.
Small tidbit of information.
That's amazing.
So dorky.
That's amazing.
Anyways, Annapurna, which made Stray, which I love Stray. So if you haven't played Stray, so plays. Yeah. Can we get more games that are like 4 hours long, please? Because like,
I love that. I love a short playthrough that I can get through, enjoy, move on.
Like, I understand why people want to make longer games, but like, everyone plays through it more. Like, you get more people who finish your game.
I know people that played through Stray multiple times. Like, they enjoyed it multiple times over. So it's now become like a comfort game for people.
Aww.
That's so nice. I like that. I feel like I've been gravitating towards that for the last year, which is very different than what I used to play. And you can relate because I play like a lot of Destiny or like games that just like consume your life. So
Sarah's part of the D2 girls, and Snacks and I are back here in the D1 pool.
Still alive.
Yeah.
Living.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to stick to it. Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk a little bit more about Sara and learn a little bit more about her. So we heard all about your username, and you talked very briefly about like starting content creation, about your boyfriend introducing you. So I'm curious, like, what kind of games was he introducing to you at that time? Like, what did you get started with?
So actually, one of my very first games that I played was Breath of the Wild. So I watched him play through the whole thing, and that was like the first time I'd ever been even interested in like a video game. Like I dabbled in a couple growing up, but like it wasn't really encouraged in my family. Like I actually wanted like a GameCube so bad, and like I would play video games at my friends' houses, but like we just weren't really. There was a lot of girls in my family, and like growing up, you guys get it. Like it's just like parents aren't like, oh, let's get our daughter a Game Boy for her birthday. Like it's just not what it was like. So I didn't really grow up around video games. And then he played through Breath of the Wild, and I watched him play through the whole thing before I actually started my own playthrough. And I remember like avoiding fighting literally anything. Like I just didn't want any kind of combat. Like, but eventually I played through the whole thing, and I put so many hours into that game. I thought it was so beautiful. I loved the music. It was like a comfort game. And then after that, he was like, okay, like let's like introduce you to some other things. So then we got on the Xbox and we played through. I don't remember the order, but we did Diablo 3. And then we played Borderlands 2.
Banger.
Which was also a banger. I'm trying to think like
Now
if
you can
there's anything else
retire.
on the
You're just playing the
Xbox.
greatest games of all time.
Pretty much, yeah. He tried to choose things where like I could just be like really overpowered and just like enjoy the mechanics and like not struggle too much with like boss fights or anything like that. And we played co-op games because I wanted to play with him at the time. And then he started introducing me to PC games, and we played Path of Exile a little bit.
Wow.
Which is actually a super complex top down. Like it was also his first time playing it, so he didn't realize how complex it was. So we kind of learned it together, and then after that, he introduced me to Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And that's when we built my first PC, which was in 2000. I think it was like early 2018. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
so
I know.
cute.
So late in life. Like I would have been in 2018. How many years ago was that? That's 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I would have been
Yikes.
like 25. Yeah, I would have been 24, 25. And yeah, it just so I started really late, but it would have been during Season of the Drifter. It was season 6, I think. A few months before
it's a good season.
Shadowkeep came out. Yeah. It was a good season to start. And it was like pretty shortly. It was like a few months after, or it was like how long into
She was born into
Forsaken.
Gambit. That's what happened.
I was a Gambit fan for a while, but not,
We all go through that
only
phase.
emblem
It's
I
okay,
have.
and then it's not
we all went through a phase.
That's literally the only emblem I have, or the the seal is the
Oh,
Gambit one.
Dragon
my
Fly.
God,
That one was actually a grind to get to. That's hilarious.
funny.
That's so
No,
funny.
thank you. Oh my
Then,
God,
yeah,
that's
I was
crazy.
after that. Like, I just like started dabbling in a bunch of different things. I played some Elder Scrolls Online. I played some Witcher. I played through Witcher 3. I loved that.
Oh,
so many
sweaty
great
scenes.
games. Like I've just
it's a
I've
good
dabbled in
smutty
a
game
lot.
if you're like into romancing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's so good, so
Aw.
good. So yeah, I
That's
got into a lot of good
awesome.
games after that, and I was a gamer then. At that point, like I couldn't go back. And then I started streaming in 2019 during COVID, or sorry, 2020. It would have been 2020. Sorry, during COVID. And
Wow.
yeah,
Why did I think you've
and
been
it was in
streaming for so
June.
long?
I don't know.
I guess that
It all
is a long
happened pretty
time now, right?
quickly.
Because like 2020 is still
2 years.
three years ago.
Yeah, it was my 2-year partner anniversary in March.
Oh, happy
Yay.
anniversary!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 2 years, I think. Gosh, it's so hard to keep track of everything. Yeah, actually, would have gotten
though.
partnered in 2021. Yeah, okay.
Don't ask
So
me.
yeah, I started streaming in June 2020. It was super spontaneous. I was dying of boredom during COVID. I'm one of those people, like, I have to have so many things on the go, and I couldn't do anything. And I obviously wasn't working because I lost my job for COVID. And then I just like I literally went back to school that fall because I didn't know what else to do with myself. But while I was waiting to go back to school, I decided to start streaming, and then it just took off. It did really well, and I think it was a really great time to start in content creation. I met so many amazing people, and I did go through a breakup later that year, as I know a lot of people did during COVID.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, I got partnered in March of 2021, and then the rest is history. And I do mainly play D2 on stream. I have dabbled in some variety games as well, but as we know, like D2, I feel like you get kind of like hard stuck in this niche.
Yep.
It's really hard to break out of it, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's a great community in some ways.
Yes,
in
I
lots
feel
of
that.
ways.
It's like a nice dysfunctional family because sometimes you're just like you fight, you care, you raid,
Exactly.
you yell, you friend. It's just always been
Take a
that
break,
way.
come back.
Yeah. It's like it's big enough to make it in this
Mhm.
community. It's big enough to like it's a super generous community too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The community is so incredibly generous. So it's really it's a good community to get into to like make it in streaming, or like at least like get going, like get
Mhm.
started.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not so big that like you're being drowned out.
Yeah.
But then that also does create this kind of like dysfunctional family dynamic
Yeah,
where it's like
definitely.
small enough that like you know everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you.
It's very small
Yeah.
town vibes for sure.
Absolutely. So you mentioned that you lost your job going into COVID. So what did you do before streaming, before COVID?
Oh, I've done like everything.
Oh,
I was one of those people that like did a lot of different things. So I worked at a winery as in management at a winery for about 5.5 years. And then my doctor told me that I needed to stress less because I got diagnosed with a chronic condition in like December of 2019, the year before COVID. And so I quit that job.
Great.
And yeah, I know, right? The doctors being like, you need to stress less. But I was like, okay, well, I can at least maybe confront the fact that I work a lot. I was working like 50 to 60 hour work weeks on salary.
Ooh.
So I was just like, I was overworking myself. It was a small business. So I quit that job. I moved to the mountains with one of my best friends for about 4 months. Got a couple of jobs just like working there. And just skied for a little while. Got some fresh air. And then I had to move home because of COVID. So that was the year that like I had to come back home, and that was when I lost my job. But yeah, prior to that, like I worked at the winery. I worked as mosquito control technician one summer where I literally killed mosquitoes as a job. Yep.
That's amazing.
I have worked on a ski resort, multiple ski resorts.
Wow.
I've been a server off and on for years. When I was in school, I usually worked about 2 jobs. I worked at a plant nursery. I was a bartender at like for weddings and stuff, but then I was also a bartender at like pubs and stuff.
Wow.
I worked at a lot of retail in high school and then like early college.
Yep.
Multi-talented. Okay.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of different jobs.
How has that translated to streaming? Do you feel like all your customer service is really paying off now? Because like you have to like
chaos
balance
management,
chat, and
not
like
really. I don't think it does. But the only reason I think is because I'm so authentically me on streaming.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not saying that from like I'm so myself. It's just that I can't help it. I'm sitting here streaming for 6 hours. Like the real me is gonna come out. I can only fake it till I make it for so long. And I think that was one thing that I really struggled with in customer service is because I am an introvert. I would just get exhausted. I'd be so drained after work every day. And so the way that I've found works best for me with streaming is that I do just have to be myself. It doesn't drain me as quickly because, as you guys know, there's so many other things involved with streaming that are exhausting. The multitasking, dealing with people that aren't super friendly, trying to, you know, be entertaining while also like entertaining yourself. Like it's just like there's just a lot of things. So I think for me, streaming is like in a lot of ways nothing like customer service. But I do also think that I'm just a pretty like happy person overall. Like for the most part, like I'm a friendly person, I suppose.
Yeah.
Naturally friendly. Like my first instinct isn't to be rude to people. It is to be friendly. But I do think streaming has jaded me a little bit, for sure. And I struggle to not be too jaded sometimes.
Understandable.
But yeah, I think that like having all the experience that I do, it's always going to benefit you. I love having lots of life experience. Learning what you don't like is just as valuable as learning what you do. So
wise words. Yes.
Yeah. And as you've kind of like been streaming for the last few years, what has been your like go-to snacks or like things you like to enjoy outside of streaming? Now we're going to our snack section, if you couldn't tell.
My favorite section.
Our favorite section. What's your kind of go-to?
I kind of go through phases, I think, but I was thinking about this ahead of time. I prepared. I am first and foremost a beverage goblin.
Yes.
So before snacks, I'm always surrounded by beverages. Like even now I have 2 in front of me, but usually it's 3 to 4. Like
what do you
it's
have?
gonna be like a smoothie, kombucha, coffee of some kind, like iced coffee or regular coffee. And then my big jug, like a big, like people like to call this my moonshine, but it's always like a like pasta sauce jug of water.
Yeah.
And then
oh my God,
sometimes it's herbal tea. Sometimes it's herbal tea.
Wait
like,
1 second.
Oops.
You said pasta?
Yeah, I used to drink out of a giant pasta jar too.
You both say pasta.
Literally. Yes.
I didn't notice Canadian. I try so hard to say pasta, but you guys sound so posh. Pasta.
I can't say that. No,
it's amazing. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Weird. It's pasta.
Pasta.
That's how I'm gonna find you, Canadians. I'm like, say pasta.
Yes,
they're
actually.
like pasta.
Bagel's another good one too.
Yeah, or bag.
Beg. Yeah.
Yeah, we say it like a E, like a B-E-G.
Beg.
Yeah. Okay, so what kind of kombucha do you like? Because I love kombucha.
My favorite one right now has been the GT mango one. I love the
That's
mango one.
That's because it's the best one.
The guava one's also top tier, but I can never find it.
It's
like
so
guava
good.
goddess is also good, but yeah,
Okay,
mango's my
guava
go-to.
goddess is okay, but mango's my number one.
Mango's
my
so good.
number one. It
so
is
good.
so
It's been my
good.
go-to. Like I
Delish.
literally have half in my fridge.
It's
right
so
now that I
sour.
haven't.
Oh, it is so
It's so
good.
good.
Delicious.
Let's
Absolutely
try
delicious.
this. Holy heck. I'm going to see God or Nicolas Cage. I'm not sure.
But then as far as snacks go,
Mhm.
I've been really into fresh fruit recently because it's summer and fresh fruit is a lot of berries and
Mhm.
I love golden kiwis. And then hummus is
Ooh.
a big go-to for me. Hummus with like snap peas and like pretzel crisps.
Oh yeah.
Although, you know, when I'm streaming, I'm like trying to like hold it away. I'm like, sorry, because it's so loud, but
Yeah.
So
Crunchy.
cute.
That's the opposite of Mav.
some ASMR, some McBang stream.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
those
amazing.
are like my go-to snacks. And then Cliff Bars are another good one too.
Have you ever
Oh.
tried Olipop?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, man.
Oh, she doesn't have Olipop.
That looks really familiar. Is it one of those like they're like natural sodas, right?
Yeah, healthy soda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I'm yellow.
Oh, no,
Just
you're
like
back.
my poor camera. Thank you.
It's like a
geez.
tonic fiber soda. So once you get up there like we are and getting your fiber in.
Oh man,
yeah.
fiber stuff.
Mhm.
I turned
Yeah.
30 in September, so
Soon.
Just
we're
Soon.
getting there.
come along with us.
Oh, that's awesome. Snacky, what have you been up to? What have you been snacking on, Snacky Snack?
Okay, I'm back to my apples and cheese. I love a crispy gala apple with a chunk of cheese. Like that's my like if I haven't had dessert and I want to have something, like I'll eat an
Sweet
apple
and
late at
savory,
night.
love that.
It's so good together, honestly. It's my favorite. It's like an easy go-to good. What else have I been snacking on that I like really? Today I had something really interesting. I had a date smoothie from somewhere that sells like we called them donaires back home, but I think they're called like a hero. How do you say that word? He, it's like where there's meat and they wrap it in a pita
Oh, a
with like
gyro?
sweet sauce. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but
Oh,
we,
yeah.
Isn't it
we
hero
call that a
donaires?
donaire. Thank you, Sarah. So we call them donaires before we all think I'm like insane. So
Yeah.
I had a fresh date like smoothie from there, made with oat milk today, and it was absolutely divine.
Gyro. I just pronounced
I don't
it
know
gyro.
how to say it.
I actually had no idea how to say it either. So
It's gyro.
That's because
Gyro?
Sarah and I get a pass, 100%.
truly, because they're not even called that here.
Euro, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
gyro, please. That's me. I'm from Southern
It doesn't,
California, Sarah.
I don't know, it
Okay,
doesn't sound good.
I'm like, I don't know, man.
I just want one of those. Give me one of those with the wrap, like
Yeah, I'm not gonna say
act
it.
it
Don't make me
out.
say it.
Yeah, so I have that. Oh, you know what I've been having is I've been making my own iced coffee because it's really warm out, and that's been going really well. So I have like a plastic big Starbucks cup with like fun straws, and then I make it in the morning and carry it around while I chase my dog and try to do some kind of work.
I've been into protein or like protein coffee. So like I do like protein. I have a like mocha vegan protein that I mix with a couple shots of espresso over ice.
Ooh.
And then half a banana, some oat milk, and something else. What else did I put in there?
Milk.
I put something else in there.
It's funny you should say that because
very snacky
I found a
snack.
really
smoothie
good, though.
place that has a coffee smoothie, and I asked them to add a banana, and I'm obsessed. It's not even a good deal. It's like $10 for the smoothie. I'm obsessed. I have to limit myself to like one a week because it's so good. I call it banana coffee, and then I run across.
It's so
like,
funny
try-
too when they charge like $2 extra for the banana, and that banana, you know, is like 10 cents at the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'll put it in myself.
sad.
I'll bring the banana. How about that? Anyway, it's really good. I don't even like bananas, but it's fantastic.
I mean, the half a banana, you can't even taste it. Like the banana just makes it a
like
little
a texture.
creamier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banana coffee. I'm here for that. Delish.
Peanut butter coffee is good
Delicious.
too.
Oh,
Yeah, adding peanut
I've
butter.
never had that. Never. Have you done that, Mav?
Peanut butter coffee. Yeah. I
Yeah.
live with a
Really?
absolute peanut butter fiend. Mr. Mav is
Right.
in like that is his middle name is peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
His
So
middle
good.
name's peanut butter. What about you? Have you had anything other than your usual Olipop and pretzels, Mav? Like what?
Okay,
What
so
else have you
I
been
did
having?
have a brand new treat today. I went out with my
Ooh.
sister and brought little mister. So we've been on like sister, taking care of baby these last couple of days. And so it's called I had to look it up because I can't remember the name. It's called Little Lady M Cake.
Okay.
Lady M Cakes. It's like tons and tons of little layers. It's like a crepe cake.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I had a regular flavor, a pistachio, and something else. And
Is it crispy?
it's like
it is like
it's like
what's that
it's
called?
spongy, but it's like
It is like a crepe cake.
It's like a crepe cake, so it's a little
Interesting.
bit crispy, but more spongy. But then there's like 30 layers in this thing.
Sounds so good.
Isn't
Oh
it
my
soft,
gosh,
right?
it's so soft and very milky and very.
I would die if I ate that.
I'm dying, but like.
Lactose intolerant group. Rise up.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then we went to Beecher's, which is a very famous cheese company here in Seattle. And so I had that. So I'm really dying. So I'm wearing my stretchy pants tonight.
Perfect.
So yeah, we kind of had those sort of treats. I've been really on a matcha chai kick. I always ask for a pumpa chai in my matcha just to give me a little bit of zip.
I've never tried that. That sounds so good.
Oh my gosh, it's so
I love
good.
matcha and I love chai, but I've never tried them together.
It's just like a nice sweet spice moment added to the matcha, which sometimes matcha can be a little flat. So
by flat you mean tastes like earth. Like I drink matcha, but I can't tell you that it tastes like if it's
done poorly, it tastes like earth. Yeah.
When I met Snag, she's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's matcha." She's like, "I'm ordering it. Why does it taste like dirt?" And she keeps ordering it, and it's amazing.
It's like when you have almond milk and you're like, it tastes like dirt, but I have it. You know. If you're allergic to milk, you know. Okay.
You know.
Just eating stuff that tastes like dirt. I'm so excited because today in our Dear Library section, we are talking about two games that we've already kind of touched on. And I'm actually excited for the descriptions because I actually haven't played either of these games. And so I find it fascinating to hear you two talk about them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Sarah, our Dear Library games today are going to be Zelda and Diablo. So we get to really geek out a little bit, but we're going to kind of share with everybody. This is, but if you're just tuning in, this is kind of our chance to share what they're from, where they're from and what it's about and kind of like, will we play it? And we're going to start with Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Brand new, just came out. Like Diablo, it's been forever. It's been 7 years since
so long.
The last Zelda. And they basically were like, we're just going to reuse the game. And okay. Developed by Nintendo, published by Nintendo, released on May 12, 2023. So last month. And it's an action adventure game. But like, I feel like it really should be just like korok game. That should be a new type of game. It should just be like how to exist with koroks.
No. Yes. How to befriend koroks. Speaking of that, I've written a description for this game without playing it, so I'm interested to hear if you all think it's accurate, which I do often because sometimes we talk about games that I haven't exactly played, but this is my take on Zelda that I have played. This sequel to Breath of the Wild lets you carve your own path through endless landscapes and the islands above, craft creative modes of transportation, and use your powerful new abilities to kill or save the koroks. Uncover new ways to build, battle, and play as you discover the secret menace threatening Hyrule. How did I do?
Accurate.
Love it. It's
Literally
so
accurate.
Good. Yeah.
It's only allowed to befriend. I can deal with you guys. You should be nice to them.
I don't know. I do think the koroks are pretty cute.
They're really cute. And we love them.
Yeah, they're very cute. Especially the ones that are laying on their backs on the backpacks. Like I just can't. I cannot handle those ones. The first time I came across one, I was like, "What is this?
I was like, what's wrong with you?
Why did he pack his bag so tight? Like, why did his bag's bigger than him? What did he expect?
That's actually snacks traveling.
It's full of snacks.
Yeah. Like, this is over the weight capacity here, buddy. Like, no wonder you lost your friend.
He has to pay a fee, okay? Just let him live. Let him live.
Oh my gosh. But I think the coolest thing about Zelda without Tears of the Kingdom, without spoiling anything, because it's still so new, and so if you're on the fence, is that there are so many new tools that are way more fun than Breath of the Wild. So
Yeah, it feels like an advance. Like they
yeah.
really did like make this for the people who play Breath of the Wild in the way that like they were like, let's make it a little bit harder and more complex. The puzzles feel harder. Like it actually feels a bit more challenging in that way, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing.
Chat chiming in. Koroks probably taste like dirt. Okay. Koroks are friends, not food. And
oh my God, Purple.
We'll just take their hands and help them. Okay.
No.
Like holy.
Oh no. Koroks are not matcha. Oh my gosh. But are they?
Oh,
I mean, you could probably build a grinder or a blender. Not that I'm saying you should.
Have you seen the memes, Sarah, with all the little Koroks that were just like...
I don't think so.
This is why she's not so offended.
Oh no.
So they're like basically TikTok and literally everywhere. There are clips of poor little Koroks that are on like little, what is it?
So one of them, they skewered them and then they were rotating them on a fire.
Like okay.
Yes. Mav sends me every TikTok of people killing Koroks. Okay. So in our DMs, it's like inspirational best friend, dead Koroks. I'm like, that's the vibe. Then she sent me one where they're being catapulted off of a cliff. So they've got the catapult lined up on a cliff and they're just like, poof.
That one sounds a little more realistic.
Or on the cross when they put the Korok on the cross and right.
Oh God! Oh no!
It's so funny. Oh yeah, the Korok kebab.
Say no to Korok kebabs.
Snacks out here are gonna start a movement.
Actually, I'm gonna have to get the game just so I can make videos on the nice stuff I do for them, like make them a picnic or actually help them. Okay,
yeah. It's not even gonna be Snacks playing the game. It's gonna be her taking you to some biome area where it has a nice shade and there's probably some snacks, and then you can put your Korok on the side.
Yes. It's like Friends and everyone brings their favorite Korok. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like Love Island, but Korok Island. Love Island with Snacky.
Oh no.
Oh, poor babies.
Not the Korok.
The Koroksation. Oh no.
No. Oh no.
Oh man.
You know, the Korok.
So Sarah, if you were to suggest someone to play it, would you suggest it to everyone to play? Is it a game that you think everyone should at least try? What's your take on your hot take?
I like to encourage people to try, but I also tell them to play Breath of the Wild first.
Oh.
I think that game is still I think especially because we're still playing it on the Switch, because that's the thing, is the Switch I feel like that is holding it back, like the console itself, unfortunately. So the Breath of the Wild still stands as like a very legitimate game next to Tears of the Kingdom. So I like to be like, try out Breath of the Wild first instead of dishing out, like you could probably find it on sale.
Yeah.
Like or find it used, like try that one first. I've been trying to convince my partner to play it, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
He's never played a Zelda game.
Me either.
And so it was my first Zelda game. Like I think that's fine. So that's how I like to see it, is like, I don't know, try it out, see if you like it. It's not for everybody, but also I like that like you can play it how you want. That's the nice thing about Zelda games. If you want to just like focus on the story and just like hightail it through the story, you can do that. If you want to explore and just find all the chests, you can do that. If you just want to find all the Koroks, you can do that. Like it feels very make your own way, which is such a luxury in a game. Like you're not being restricted to like one path. So I feel like it's for most people. Like most people can find a way to enjoy that kind of game.
And Breath of the Wild is way more chill, right? Like it's way more.
It is, yeah.
A good intro to the open world that is Zelda in the future.
And the puzzles are a little bit easier. The mechanics are easier. Like it is just like
a good stepping stone.
You can just enjoy the story, enjoy getting to know the characters.
Right.
Yeah.
And not be attacked by hands.
Yeah.
And not know what to do with the hands.
Oh my god, there's been just so many like puzzles so far that I've gotten stuck and so frustrated. Like I literally like rage quit one night because I did 2 different shrines that I couldn't figure out the puzzles for, and I had to leave, and my ego was so hurt. I was like, I'm coming back to this later, but I don't get it.
I'll see you later, but not tonight.
Not tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've definitely been there. Have you had that experience? I had to. It was so embarrassing because I was streaming it, but I was playing Pikmin 3 and I couldn't kill this boss. It was like a worm in a hole, and I'm like, I'm doing it by myself. I'm not looking it up. I'm doing it by myself. 3 weeks later, I was like, I'll look it up. Fine. So I watch a tutorial. I still can't beat it. I was so embarrassed. I'm like,
Oh,
this is a Pikmin boss. Like, what kind of gamer am I? Can't beat this caterpillar
Can't throw
slug.
your
Like,
Pikmin on the boss.
actually, though, like, why is it so hard?
I just blame the game at that point. Your game's
Exactly.
It's
broken.
broken.
Yeah,
Game's
right.
broken.
It's
It's
literally
just not
broken.
doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah. It's the game. It's not
How
you.
dare you give me this worm to kill?
Speaking of broken,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about a little bit about Diablo 4, but
Mm-hmm.
it did break today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it did. It was down for a while.
It's down for a bit.
Uh-oh.
Kind of a
Yeah.
long time.
Did they say why? Is it because the servers are overloaded or like?
Of course not. Of course they didn't say why.
Yeah.
I haven't seen why, honestly. I haven't really actually been on socials much today other than watching the Summer Game Fest, but that was on Twitch. I wasn't really even on socials much today. But
Yeah.
I did see everyone was like, "Where's that game? I'm going back to
Yikes.
bed." So yeah, Diablo 4, developed by Blizzard, published by Blizzard, released literally 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Action RPG dungeon crawler.
Top down. Very
Top
fun.
down. Super
So good.
fun, classic. My favorite playstyle. I played StarCraft back in the day, which is very similar. So if you like Diablo, you actually might like StarCraft, even though it's more of an RTS than like a dungeon crawler. But yeah, it's very similar to Diablo 3, but it definitely has more style. And actually, the style is more Renaissance style, which was what the art director.
I like that.
Yes. So it's got more of like the European mural look. Everything they wanted to look like a painting as you play. And so really has like more of that darker vibe rather than, you know, the Diablo 3.
So edgy.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
so edgy.
Oh, yeah. They're like, is this too dark? And they're like, no. Like, they're like, we got Billie
I love that
Eilish and Halsey and like
Yeah.
BTS. Like, we're gonna go there. So they did.
I love that they've really committed to the bit too. Like even on their socials and their marketing, it's been so fun. Like
Oh yeah.
watching their marketing with it too. Like
Oh yeah.
it's just
Very
it's so
clever.
good.
Okay,
This
Snacks.
description
Okay,
I did not
Snacks.
write
I'm
because
very excited.
so this is rare, actually. It's rare that I read a description for a game and I think, wow, they really nailed it. Typically, I read what they've got on Steam or what they've got on there, and I'm like, I can write it better. I can make it more descriptive, more interesting, more engaging. This is one of those times where I read the description and I was like, this sounds amazing. So let me know what you think. The endless battle between the high heavens and the burning hells rages on as chaos threatens to consume sanctuary. With ceaseless demons to slaughter, countless abilities to master, nightmarish dungeons, and legendary loot, this vast open world brings the promise of adventure and devastation. Accurate?
Devastation. I love that. Yeah.
We were literally on a call and she was like, I can't rewrite this. It's already done. It's done. I was like,
perfect.
this is the first time, by the way, that's ever happened. In
Really?
our 38
I love that.
episodes where she was like, this is a
Wow.
great description.
Honestly, they're not good. I'm sorry. Like, they could be better. Like, if you know, that's like what people read. Like, when they look up your game, it should be interesting. Like, please.
Totally.
Help me
or,
help
and
you.
descriptive. Like I want to actually know what I'm getting into. I want the vibe.
Yes.
Give me the actual
exactly.
Vibe check.
Exactly.
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
Diablo 4 is a whole ass vibe.
Such a vibe.
It's on everything. You can cross-play, cross-save. It works seamlessly. I played it on PC. I played it on Xbox. I switched.
Wow.
That's so great.
Would you recommend it, Sarah? Is this a game
Oh,
that you?
100%. Yeah. Even if you've never played a Diablo game before, this game is so fresh and different from anything I've played in the last couple of years. Like I love the edgy vibe. I think that's so fun. I love if you just want to like make your character fashionable, like the build crafting's really interesting, but you can also keep it really simple. Like it's just, and you can really play it how you want again. Like it's, you can, if you just want to level up and just, I've seen people who have leveled up to level 42 only doing like mini dungeons.
Okay, you're selling it to
soloing
me,
them.
Sarah. You're
And
selling
I've
it.
personally am like streamlining the story because they've actually really focused on the campaign in this one, which is quite different from Diablo 3 or even Diablo 2. Like this is the first time they've actually dedicated hours, like that you're dedicating hours to the campaign. And the story was really interesting. The cutscenes are beautiful. Also, make sure that you uncheck the capped cutscenes, because the cutscenes are so well done. If you have the graphics for it, you should definitely do that. It is automatically checked to be. Yeah, but I'm playing Barbarian, so it's a very it's a pretty simple class. I'm a muscle mommy, and like I just run around meleeing everything. Everything. And I haven't done a ton of playing around with my build yet. Like I'm just focusing on getting my skill tree unlocked, but there's so much you can do within each individual class that it really does make it that you can play how you want. So
yeah. And that was
it's
the
super
vibe.
fun.
I asked about that too, and they were like, yeah, no, you want you to just hop in and have fun. Like obviously there's gonna be people who are gonna say this build's the way, this build is whatever. Like you guys know, Destiny, there's builds, there's things that can break stuff, but you really can't.
Yeah,
you really can't just hop in and play it. And the goal is fun, and I think that's why they're winning at this, because it's just like click on stuff. It's very zen, but it also is really fun to watch. Weirdly, like I don't watch a lot of streams, but when people are playing Diablo, I'm just like kind of zenning out. You can kind of chat, click on stuff. Maybe you get into a little trouble because boss areas can be hard, especially if you're in like a different tier world, but super fun.
Super fun.
Okay,
And you
you're
can take your
selling
time.
It's
You can take
really
your time.
gory,
like, don't
though.
feel like you're rushing. It is gory.
It's really
Yeah,
gory.
super edgy, gory, like bloody Renaissance. I love
Dark,
that, though.
sweaty,
Like,
gory,
I'm into that.
arms,
Yeah.
guts,
Matt
sounds.
described it on the phone to me as like wet. She was like, "It's wet, sloshy death," and I was like,
moist.
"I
It's so moist.
It's
Very
dark
moist game.
sounds
damp
stinky
and wet and
Yeah.
dark and damp
Yeah.
and wet.
But no, it runs seamlessly. There's also like a lot of good quality of life updates compared to Diablo 3 as well. I find like it just runs even better, and the skill trees seem even more simple, like in the way that like it's easier to use. Easier to use. Not simple as in like you can't do as much. Simple as in just like quality of life. Easier to read, easier to understand. Like I look at the skill tree and I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Like I go here, and then it's like everything's just described really accurately, and like, yeah, it's great for silly dumb gamers like me. This is like so easy to understand. Like very rarely am I looking at my partner and being like, okay, what does this mean? Like, what is this thing? And if you're really lost, you can just wiki it. Really, if it's one thing that you really want to know something about, you can look it up, and it's not a big deal. But so it's also not the end of the world if you just keep going and you don't know what that thing is. That's fine. Like it's not the end of the world.
So how similar, since we all play Destiny, how similar to Destiny does it feel in terms of like the world? Is it is it like escalation protocol feeling, or like public zone feeling, or like is there anything you're like, interesting, that really looks like Lost Sector to me?
I don't get any Destiny vibes from it.
Oh, amazing. Some of
like
it, I'm
such a
like,
different game.
I'm like, there's like some world events that happen, and I'm like, this feels a little escalation protocol to me. Like this feels a bit escalation, but I feel like that's just like the vibe of the game, anyways. It's like escalation protocol, the game, just like go run around and find them. But have you run into the Butcher yet?
No.
Have you heard of the Butcher?
No.
Okay.
I've been avoiding like all
Does
spoilers.
he have snacks or?
So he's a random giant boss who roams around the world. And some people have ran into him like 10 times. Some people have never seen him. And so if you see him, you have to tell me, because I haven't seen him yet. Okay.
Is he past level 50? Because isn't there like you go to a new world? So I'm not past level 50 yet.
No, he's just like 10 levels above you all the time. And so it's like,
I see. Okay.
He will light you up. And so
I've not seen him.
Has anyone chat seen him? Because I have not seen him, and he's a spooky.
I want to see him now.
Butcher's scary. Yeah, Butcher's scary.
Spooky.
But I bet there's some pretty good loot from the Butcher.
Literally, if you can.
Yeah.
Twice. Oh
Creepy.
man. Yeah, the
Love
Butcher is
loot.
spooky. He's really tough. Which I'm glad. There's world events. There's world bosses. There's going to be seasons coming.
So much
soon.
to do. There's so much to do. Yeah.
New update comes next month or something. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's also really interesting because there's like a lot of people saying that they're disappointed that there's going to be seasons, or they're confused that Diablo's introducing seasons into their game. But at the same time, I'm kind of looking forward to it. And I'm not overly surprised because every game seems to be following that model now, like with seasons.
I
It's
hope
a way
it's
to
a
kind of
little
refresh
different.
content without having to come out with new content yearly. Like it's like a more often bringing in new content, new events. New
Did you
loot.
play Diablo 3 during any of their seasons? Because I think they're still no Diablo
Oh, right.
Immortal.
Well,
but,
yeah,
like,
you're right. They did. I guess they did introduce seasons. No, I played before they introduced that.
So Diablo 3 seasons were a lot. I think like everything gets wiped, kind of like Path of Exile, and you start over. Go.
Right.
And people are like, but I don't want to start over. And so I'm interested to see if that's what their plan is just wipe everything and start over. But I don't
doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Based on like what we've seen so far, I don't know. I feel like
they've learned a lot. They've had a lot of time to really figure that out.
a long time.
11 years is
really
a long time.
Okay. Yeah, they've had a lot of time.
But yeah, play it.
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay.
It's very, very fun.
That's what I can sign on and try her out.
Yeah,
See
I
how
was
it
like,
is.
if you should just hop on mine and just come and play on mine and see what you think. I'll bring my little handheld and you can play it and you can just tell me what you think.
Someone can carry me around as they play dress up.
Right.
Okay. Well, wrapping up our game library, we are onto one of my favorite parts of the show, typically known as what we've learned this week. But for our guest today, we'd like to hear a little bit from Sara. So if you have like a piece of advice or something that you've learned recently or just a little tip or trick, we'd love to hear a little bit more about you and what you have to share.
Oh, right. I didn't prepare for this one.
Sometimes that's great though, because it gets an authentic
Do you
answer.
have like a saying or something that you kind of go back to anytime you need like a North Star or anything? Or like a piece of advice that you're like, oh.
Well, okay, okay, this past week, I've been really struggling a lot with overwhelm. This doesn't have anything to do with gaming. I hope that's okay. But just a bit of life advice. This is like the thing that I used this week to try to get me through the week was I've been struggling a lot with overwhelm and like overwhelm paralysis where my life just feels so busy and I just like have such a long to-do list and my task list is growing at a faster rate than I can complete them. And I'm struggling to prioritize and I'm just like laying in bed paralyzed, right? You have so many things to do. And basically what I've recognized is that in that moment, like I just need to get myself a little hit of dopamine. And I sit there and I'm like, what do I need to do right now that would just give me a little bit of dopamine? And that could be as simple as a snack. It could be going for a walk. It could be completing one of the tasks on the list that is like really dragging me down. And it's like, okay, just focus on this one thing that I think is going to give me dopamine. And like, maybe it's a shower, maybe it's like whatever it is, but it like really just like pulls it back to like simplify the question instead of like being in this endless cycle of like, I have to do this and I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and take it out of like, what do I have to do? And what is going to just give me a little bit of dopamine to get me started. And then even if that's the only thing I complete for the day, I'll be satisfied and I'll feel a little bit better.
Yes, I agree.
So that was this week. I feel like I have a lot, but that was what I needed this week.
Great.
So.
It's good to be able to take a little step forward because a little step forward is still a step forward. You know,
kind
if
of
you're
like
moving in the direction you want to move.
Yeah. That's why we have this section because we learn something new every week and it's never really about gaming. So this pod is really more towards the end. Like even in the beginning we talk about food and so most of the time it's not about gaming. And then like at the end we're like, what did we learn this week and what has helped us and like what are we dealing with? Because you know, everyone is dealing with so much all the time and maybe, you know, they might relate to something in one of the episodes and I relate to that so much because we have so much going on behind the scenes that we had to skip a couple weeks for the pod. And I'm like, it's okay. Like we're doing awesome stuff and we're still here. We're still doing stuff. And so the dopamine hit is the thing. That's why you want to make sure you keep things around you that spark joy. Even if it's
people
silly.
around you that spark joy.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good one to use with our loved ones as well. Like, and my partner is so good at this. Like, he'll come up to me and be like, what can we do for you right now? Like, right now, like, what's one thing we can do? Do you want to go out for some food? Can I order you something? Like, what will help you right now? Let's take the dogs for a walk. Like, even if like, and
staying present is so good.
He's then there. Like, if I have to ask him, like, can you bring me something? Then he'll help, even if that just like helps get me going. So
bring me the dopamine
with our loved ones. We can use with our loved ones to also help them when they're feeling a little bit you know,
Yeah, absolutely. That's a
overwhelmed.
great piece of advice. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing a little bit more about yourself.
Mhm.
And as we move towards wrapping up the pod, we can chat a little bit about what we're all up to this weekend. So, Mav, what are you doing? I already
Mine just says
know.
all caps Diablo and Disney because I love Disney and Dreamland. That is my bedtime game. I'm just like,
I've been
sleep.
thinking about getting that one for so long.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
good.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's good. It's really sunny out, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it. But I am streaming a little bit more, because of Diablo, and I need to plan some outfits for next week.
Yeah.
So
Shh, don't tell. What's happening?
so
Where are we going?
I hate packing so much.
I love
hate
packing.
packing.
Oh
I
my God,
hate it.
stop. Let me come over.
Oh.
I love packing. I just think it's so fun. I
I
really
don't know
enjoy it.
what the weather's gonna be like. I'm not gonna know what I'm gonna want to wear. What if I'm bloated? What if like these jeans would look really great with this outfit, but like I'm probably not gonna want to wear jeans after traveling all day.
Thank you.
I just wear a dress every
What if
day.
I spill on this white
It's
shirt?
true.
Then
What
I
if
just
bring
fit
like
in it.
pretty much my entire underwear because you're like, what if I poop my pants?
15 times.
You never know. 15 times, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are all
It's
accurate.
overwhelming.
I love packing.
I do think
I'm
half my luggage
excited.
is underwear. Honestly, like
Truly, and socks because I hate having wet socks.
or dirty socks.
Oh.
Oh.
I change my socks
Ew.
like twice a day.
Ugh. Gross.
Sweaty socks, they're off.
Yeah.
Take them off. Take
Yeah.
them. Take them. I don't want to see them.
Restart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holes in your socks, can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Mav and I have we're heading out to somewhere we can I think share tomorrow. So don't tell anyone we told you. We're doing something fun again. We'll share more as soon as we can. I'm very excited. I'm streaming a little this weekend too. I'll be live tomorrow night, so Friday night, and we have movie night Sunday night, and on Sunday morning, Mav and I are actually going to be live again together. You're welcome for the PC game for the PC game show. So we're going to be like, what do you call that when you? Is that called co-streaming it, right? Yeah, we're going to be co-streaming it, and there's actually some cool benefits to doing that. So we're really excited. So thanks for inviting us. And we'll be together, but on each of our channels. So you can catch us there too. And what about you, Sarah? Tell us what you're up to. What are you going to be doing?
What's the plan?
The gym, as usual.
Oh yes, bless our
gonna-
timeline, please. Where can we find you?
Oh yeah, so I'll be at the gym during the day, and then I'm planning some longer streams, just trials this weekend, and I've kind of been slacking on the streams this week just because of this overwhelm that I've been feeling, and then I've just been busy with the gym and cooking, and it's also really hot here right now, and I don't have AC, so it makes it a little tough to stream.
You're like,
Yeah,
I'm not
so
gonna
I
be
might
home.
be-
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
be not here, so. And then I was thinking about maybe taking the dogs out on a little adventure on Sunday on my
Ooh.
partner and I's day off. So maybe go for a little adventure, go on a little
Your
hike.
dogs are
so many good
so
hikes.
cute.
Oh,
So
Aw.
cute.
They
What is
are
your
precious.
what is your dark gray one? Because you have a golden.
That's
like
Rufus.
okay, Rufus.
Yeah.
Rufus.
Rufus
Oh my
is a
God, so
cockapoo, so
cute.
he's Cocker Spaniel Poodle. He's
Aw.
passed out in his kennel.
He's
right
like a
now.
dark blue
But-
merle color. Is that what
Yeah,
he is?
Wow.
yeah. He's a blue merle. So he's like the black, gray,
Let's
white.
go.
And he's got two different
my
colored
God.
eyes too. He's got a blue eye and a brown eye. He's very precious. You often
My
can't see them though.
cutie.
He has bangs also.
So cute.
And then Cassiopeia is her full name. But
And she has a
Cassiopeia is
reindeer.
my partner from Vegas. Yeah.
What's she
So,
like? Does she
amazing.
boot people?
She's got such a personality. She's a attention demander. Like she just wants pets from you all the time. And she'll come like lay her head on you and she just wants your pets. And like even if you're snuggling with her, but it's like not good enough, like you're not scratching. She'll get very insistent. She groans, she grunts at you. It's
That
like a
sounds
grunt.
so familiar,
like
Matt.
a deep stomach grunt when
Weird.
she wants our attention.
Every time you
She
tweet
loves
about her,
food.
Sarah, I'm like, oh my God. It literally is dark red golden, right?
Yeah.
Golden, okay.
She's the American red or
Willow
whatever she's called.
howls when you tell her to go get her baby, and she'll bring it back and she'll like howl. And anytime Snacks comes over, she like comes over and she'll like boop her in the butt cheek. And
Like
Snacks
she
Oh
puts
my
dresses.
goodness.
up my dress, up it, up in there.
Oh yeah, no,
She gives
Cassie
a little
doesn't do that.
little boopy boop, and she's like, "Hi."
Little
And
boop.
she's like, stop.
Yeah, no, Cassie jumps up when she's very excited. But she does this weird thing because she knows she's not supposed to jump up. Like when I come home from the gym, she'll like jump up, but she'll hover in the air with her like paws. And she's like as tall as I am. When she stands up.
Yeah,
she's
big.
trying, and then she falls forward because she's like, oh shit. She just hovers. It's quite adorable.
Silly
but
puppies.
Yeah.
So
I love
sweet.
dogs, so
Amazing. Well, it sounds like fun weekends for everyone.
Yeah.
And before we wrap the pod and say goodbye, where can all of your new friends find you, Sarah?
It's Very Small Hat on pretty much everything. On Twitch, which I stream. I try to stream about 4 to 5 days a week. Depends on life, but I try to stream about 4 to 5 days a week. And then Twitter at Very Small Hat. Instagram is also Very Small Hat, and I've been posting a lot more on there for like just day in the life tidbits mostly. And that's about it, really. I don't really touch TikTok much or YouTube. Maybe someday, but those are kind of the main spots. So
amazing. Yeah. Thank you for being here and joining us on the podcast today. It was so great to hear more about you and listen to your stories. It was amazing.
Thank you for having me. It was so lovely.
Good job, everybody. And thanks, chat, for joining. If you're watching right now, you are amazing. And if you're listening right now, you are also amazing because we've had lots of listeners bopping over on our socials and our feeds. So we are live everywhere podcasts play. If we're not at your favorite platform, please let us know because we're literally everywhere. And also on YouTube for VOD view. So if you want to see the video version of this, head on over to YouTube, Dear Video Games. We also have a fan house for the show, fanhouse.app/Dear Video Games. Make sure to use code podcast. We post guests that are going to be joining. We post behind the scenes, sneak trips that come up.
Exactly. If you want to know where we're going.
Extra content,
tune on in. Yeah. Amazing.
All right,
thanks
everybody.
To everyone who supports us there.
Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.